All right. So as you are heading back towards the middle of town with these three, uh, um, Dominus kind of like whistles over towards a fire and like motions, says, Caliban, get over here. We need to talk. And you see a guy you recognize from the postcog, sort of handsome, rakish sort, gets up and brings a bottle of some kind of alcohol with him, smoking a cigarette at the same time, and walks over to the group here. There's his token. And as you guys step into the little command center, one of the shadows kind of like warps and melds, and a fifth person, a woman, sort of steps out of the darkness. And Nave kind of gestures to her and says, and this is Rapture, which heads off our little quintet.
Well, it's quite fantastic to meet, to finally meet all of you.
I take it from that you have some knowledge of us, then, yes?
Slightly. It's all been theoretical. But we have interacted slightly already in my time. I tried to learn of something you five will do, but you sealed it pretty well.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
I attempted a postcog, and we interacted through your magic. It was actually quite interesting. You told me to stop.
Well, I tend to do that quite often when I'm covering up things I don't want people to see, so it doesn't pinpoint things down.
No, this is going to happen.
Oh, it hasn't happened yet.
Yes,
very well.
This is going to happen.
Well, very interesting. How did you get back this far?
That was quite an endeavor in itself. What was the thing that was the name of the creature that I saw?
A anachronism.
Anachronism, yeah. I assume you're aware of supernal entities that are far more powerful than us.
Yes, so you summoned a anachronism to assist you?
Yes, indeed. I made it through the ritual summoning and was able to wasn't so much strike a deal, just utilize its power.
Impressive. You might be almost as good as I am.
So are you from this time? You look a little...
Not exactly.
All of you look a little bit out of place.
The rest of them are more or less from this time. I'm a little bit older than I appear, due to some unfortunate incidents.
What, did you get aged or something?
Well, no, quite the opposite. I was shunted forward in time quite a while.
And you can't go back.
Yes, it is quite an interesting story, actually. And as he's about to start, Dominus kind of puts a hand on his shoulder and says, and one that is not immediately relevant.
Yes, we can discuss that another time, I suppose.
I think we have a lot of talking to do, but I suggest we handle the more critical points first.
Yes.
I'll put it bluntly,
Please do.
why are you here? There, I can't imagine even the most reckless mage traveling, presumably decades back in time, to do something minor.
Right. Well, it all started with Hitler, you see.
Did it? Not really.
Well,
Dave said, same.
there's just more like everything that's being said is like adding evidence that we're the same person. You know, like just all right, and I'm gonna bring that up eventually too, but I don't know. But then different reasons led us here. That was my individual personal goal. Come back to this time period and stop the tyrannical Hitler before he caused any mass murderous effects. But blah blah blah. That's neither here nor there. Our endeavors, like you said, decades in the future, led us to this point, because there is a Celestial. I can't remember. Too many
Celesti.
games. Too many
Celesti.
games. Too many
Golden
games.
Arrow.
Yeah, Celesti that has mastered fate in a way that he has been able to control every outcome of a plan and a plot that he has set in motion, and we believe this is the point, one of the only points in time that we can alter it.
Interesting. Dominus says, is interesting because we are currently hunting a group of Celesti who are working with the Nazi forces. Some kind of cult.
Do I know the name of that? Did we learn it in that bunker?
I don't think you learned any name. No.
Okay. I mentioned the other one then. Not the people that Professor Mueller worked for.
Oh, the Pentex Corporation?
That's the corporation? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. That sounds a little futuristic-y, but I mentioned, is there any reference of the word Pentex?
It's like a question. Okay. I just had to look up real quick when Pentex was founded to make sure.
For sure, yeah.
1865. Rapture speaks up and says, "We haven't heard that name in relation to this cult, but I have heard it before."
Well, they eventually get involved. I don't know when, but...
Well, that can't be a good sign.
Well, actually, I do know when, because they... No, I don't. I know that they were involved after a certain time period, but it was these guys that did that torching, I believe. Because at first I thought it was Pentex that did the torching of that place, that bunker. But it was these mages, I think. No.
Yeah, Revel speaks up, the sort of younger, rough and tough looking guy. He says,
"That's you." I nudge, and telepathically.
No, that's not him.
I thought it's because of the Prime. He's got the little burning hands.
No, the Dominus is with it.
My bad. It's literally because of the burning hands. Like I thought.
Right. Yeah.
He did. I'm like, oh, because you can do that.
Yep. Our portrait outlines are the same color.
Oh, they. Oh, son of a bitch.
Yep. Got it.
Sneaky. I didn't even see it. Way to go, perception roll.
Yep. But he says, "Yeah, I've fought Pentex before. They're fucked up."
Yes, it seems they're somehow using science to manifest magic abilities.
They're agents of corruption. They have their fingers in a lot of different pies. Put it that way.
Well, I hate to tell you, they're still going strong in wherever I'm from.
Yeah.
2019.
Okay,
Well-
that's when we started.
Yep.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, that's right. You called that lady.
Yeah.
Anyway.
In the 2000s.
Oof. Not surprising.
No.
They're big.
So you say you were hunting Celestes. Have you been able to slay any of them?
Some of the lesser ones. They're quite elusive, as it turns out.
Do they all look the same? I have never seen more than one.
They are. No.
There's a certain
As
one.
is Dominus talking. It says their features vary, but they are monstrous in appearance, all of them. In different ways.
Alright. Have I ever taken a picture of Voldemort?
I don't think so. I feel like whenever you've actually seen him, you've been
No, right.
way too busy.
Absolutely. Alright, so
Like, hey, can I get a selfie
yeah.
with you real quick?
Alright, so
Over your dead body.
I don't have any. Well, yeah, there's a wall around. I will try to paint a picture of him.
Okay.
Mhm.
You're gonna paint a picture on just like a wall?
Yeah,
Okay, sure.
yeah, of him. Should I roll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a painting
I
roll.
think I get 9 dice for this. I gotta open my character sheet.
It's your specialty for crafting. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Character sheet.
Yeah.
It's what is it? Wits? No, it's Dex.
It'd be
Cool.
Dex
Yeah,
and
which is
crafts.
the same, yeah. So it's
Yep.
8.
Yep. +1 for your specialty, I think, right?
Oh, yeah.
Painting is-
Terrible though. I only got 1 success.
Okay. So I mean, like it you get the idea across. It's not your best work.
No, it's not. I did it with fucking my emergency paint set, which is literally
Yeah.
just like a watercolor thing you buy at. Like Walmart.
Yeah, like the surface is like this coarse wood that doesn't work very well.
Yeah.
But you get like the idea across as you're sort of talking more.
Voldemort looking thing.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, this is the one.
Harry Potter hasn't been written yet.
I know.
This is the one we're after.
Gray skin, no nose.
Yep.
Anyway.
Have you,
Yeah.
have
What's
you
seal? What's seal? By the way, where's the prophecy?
The fourth.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, and then there's another thing that I'm slightly hesitant to even tell you about because it's one of those things that the more people know, the stronger it is.
But to put it shortly, I guess, the Celestia we're after is on a quest to break a series of magical seals to release something that can eat the world.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so we have gotten that they worship some specific powerful abyssal entity. This is Dominus talking. I suspected it was an Anunnaki myself. Something of that power, at least. If what you say is true, does that mean that we failed or will fail to stop this cult? And that is the reason you have returned to the past?
One survives and continues the work. This, and I point. at the picture.
So we don't succeed at stamping it out completely, then.
You perhaps delay it and alter his plans, which is why he plans so carefully in our time.
And these seals you speak of, where are they?
Scattered about Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Curious. Knave says, New Mexico. Is that one of those square ones in the west, yes?
Yeah, it's just a small point.
Rapture kind of nods and says, yes, I am from there.
Oh, yes.
Long way from home.
We are even farther.
Indeed. I'm not aware of any entity chained within the city.
It's not in the city. It's just those are the seals that must be broken, apparently.
In Santa Fe, yes.
I don't believe that the entity itself resides.
No, it would be... if it is an abyssal entity, it would not be able to exist in this reality without warping it visibly.
The Santa Fe isn't the greatest, but it's...
Where are these seals located?
No. Yeah. Now we run into knowledge things.
It is a dilemma, Knave says.
Like,
Especially when you are returning back this far to speak with people who are seemingly quite intertangled in your future.
indeed.
Yeah. That's
He sort
Putting
of
him
turns
on
to
the-
his companions and says, I think that from my past experience, it would be wise of us to accept whatever knowledge these two seek to give us and leave it at that. Caliban. And Caliban just sort of like puts his hands up. I wasn't doing anything.
Okay. Have any of you heard the name Jericho?
Rapture nods and says, yes, young Magistos. Well, actually, no, hold on. No. Negate that.
Oh, damn, it just says Jericho had relationship with at least some of them, so...
Yep. He's not old enough
Okay.
at this point.
I just figured through time whammies.
Yep.
I wonder how then.
Well, based off of Jericho's notes, he knew them, or I guess you're hypothesizing that he knew them in like the 60s,
Yeah.
which would be like 20 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
because that's when his like
Oh, yeah, March 21st,
start.
1967.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. I didn't even see that. I was I was just reading lines. Okay, nope, you got it. Yeah, you.
the dates are important on that.
No,
Yeah.
they are. Okay, so yeah. I still would have asked, and if they all say no. I'm like,
Yep.
okay. No, he wasn't around
Shit.
yet then.
Or isn't around yet.
Ah, right. Forget when we are.
It's a tricky thing, time.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. I'm just real quick scanning.
Yeah. Rapture says, anyways, can you tell me where these seals are?
I think we can. It's mostly I'm just wondering where our Celesti friend learns of their location. If we are the ones with the knowledge of them, he might obtain it somehow through you, or whoever we tell, or us.
Hmm.
Because at the moment, we are unaware if he knows of their locations.
Knave says, well, if he knows of their locations in your past, your presence here is changing that. So your past is one in which you have no influence on, if that makes sense.
I think I
Whatever you do here will change what is there. If he knows of their location in your time, then
It's already there.
whatever you tell us will not change that.
Right. Right.
Right. He was already able to find out without them knowing, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. Then
All right. So,
here.
how many of them do we even know the location of? 3? 4?
I thought 4, because he broke 3, so we know those, and I thought we know of the 4th one, but we might.
Yep. You know 4, because one of the 4th one is near Jericho's house. That was it was in the same location where there's like that pool that went to the dimension that Jericho is hiding in. So yeah, you know where 4 of them are. And Rapture kind of like listens and sort of nods a couple of times as you're talking and says, I know of one of these locations, the ley line nexus that you're speaking of, and I am fairly confident there is no seal or door there.
Well, perhaps what these Celestes are doing in this present, is revealing them, finding them.
Yeah. Or perhaps we don't even know if they're made yet, right?
It could be possible that we made these to seal away something that was released or will be released by this cult.
Yes, and that would line up with the other fact that we know, I guess, in that 3 weeks' time in... What was the castle name? Whatever the castle's name.
It's in the chat. I was just up there. No, I don't know what Stauffenberg is, but...
Stauffenberg, that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that castle? Is Schloss?
Schloss is castle, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so... Yep, so Stauffenberg. Find the
Well, anyway, that
beginning of
does sort of
false
match up with what we do know. Is that in 3 weeks' time, a fragment of a portal that has similar power to the entity we're concerned about is released and then and then was contained by U5.
That's so.
This would be the event we referred to earlier that was very difficult to see through the past.
And Knave speaking says, so then if I'm following correctly, this event, the conclusion of our quest, seemingly, is the catalyst for yours, yes?
Yes, we don't know the particular nature of the fate that binds us to lose, but we do know that I guess we'll say the web of fate begins 3 weeks from now.
Powerful spell. Something that this Celestia of yours probably carefully tended to and tweaked for decades.
Yes.
Lining up all the dominoes.
Mm-hmm.
Quite impressive, really.
Yes.
If the end goal wasn't the destruction of the world, is that what it is? I just generally assume that's what it is.
Right. If the thing gets here, it's basically the end.
Right. Yeah, if the end goal wasn't so boring, then
So I mean,
I'd almost be.
there's this thing, this prophecy, like as Amadine has said, and it mentions 5 umbral shades releasing. There happen to be 5 of you.
Well,
5 is a good
well-
number.
It is.
mhm. Well, we don't really know what each of the seals refers to. That's part of the problem.
Absolutely. I mean,
Rapture says 5 seals and 5 shades. It strengthens the binding.
also, this Jericho I mentioned, he happens to know some of you, or apparently, in 20 years from now, and he speaks in the journal of your sudden disappearance.
Curious.
Indeed. So I'm not sure what all connects here. I'm just putting all the pieces out there. We have a lot of minds here.
There's definitely something odd. This is Caliban speaking. Something odd between you two, and he points at Knave and Dominus.
Oh yes, my theory is we are the same person.
They're I don't know how to describe it exactly, but the sympathetic connections between you are there's something else.
Are they?
Yes. I was wondering when we'd get around to mentioning the let's see here.
What are you good at card tricks?
Yep. The breaking of here. One second. Sam will write down the prophecy on a sheet of paper, and be like, the breaking of the first seal involved the Celesti kidnapping us 2 and 3 others, sleepers at the time. And doing something that we don't understand yet.
Forced awakening.
And afterwards, the 5 of us were awakened. During, I don't know, our visit to the tower, we met the 5 of you.
Yes, you wrote this spell, and I cast something that one of mine wrote.
Yep.
Let's see what
Knave
it is.
sort of strokes his chin. Is like, well, that is.
Weight of years. Yeah. Okay. So I just cast that on like some rubble, and it just crumbles.
The like the part that is similar is the like rote skill, like the movement of your and like stance,
Gotcha.
and how you form the imago is similar, and you, like see him sort of staring at you and then sort of nodding, says, "Does feel very familiar."
Okay. Well, I actually got an exceptional success, so I probably cast it exactly like him.
Yeah. Almost as if you learned it from a soul stone or something.
Yeah. Well,
I just made one of those.
we have done some exploring in the back of our minds, I suppose. And there is a bunch of your memories scattered about in each of us.
Hmm. Intriguing. And Rapture, who was sort of, well, as you're talking, sort of like started nodding and then like began sort of pacing around the room in a circle, sort of steps in and says, I believe I have the answer.
Oh yeah, I'm all ears, cause your doubles back in our time drunk off his ass.
No, that's
No,
Caliban.
No, and I pointed
Oh.
at Caliban, right? Or no? That's the whoever his one is.
Yeah, that. He kind of like waves a hand, says, "I'm sober." Takes a pull of the booze.
Yeah.
Rapture is the girl, though, right?
Yep. She would be Tanya's
Yep.
counterpart.
Hmm.
But she says, "You have the same soul."
Sanders raised an eyebrow.
Sorry, what was that?
You have the same soul.
Oh, kidding that. Is that a thing?
Well, souls, when you have power over death, one can extract a soul from a body and put it into another. Assuming that the other body is bereft of its own soul. From what I see, and from the evidence that we have, it seems as though his soul, and pointing at Knave, is in your body, and his currently. I would attribute that to time travel. It is somewhat strange, though. Which means at some point, for our deaths, there was a transference of souls. What was that prophecy again?
I mean, they were probably handing it around.
Yeah. The first.
The drunk guy has it. He hasn't even looked at it
Yeah.
yet. Oh, here.
He is acting totally sober, I should
Oh,
say.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. He's just drinking a lot.
What? That's because he cast that spell.
Yep.
And I'm just like, oh. It started way back here.
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah, it's the same stuff.
Yeah.
The reawakening of the Revenant.
So you must be the original Revenant.
This binding that you have encountered, if we go forward on the assumption that we created it, then we may have used our souls to seal it.
Oh. Oh, no. That seems like something you shouldn't know. Going into something like that.
Well, I don't know.
She kind of shrugs. We did it.
Right. In the heat of the moment.
Well, I mean,
It's,
if they hadn't, we wouldn't have this second chance to stop it.
I believe with Knave's help, I could set up some kind of situation where upon our deaths, our souls would be ripped from our bodies and deposited into the correct locations.
Wow. Man, you
Sort of contingency.
don't fuck around in the old days.
The soul is not as important as most people say it is. It has value, of course, but there's more to a person than just their soul. And she points at you and says, "You are still the same you as you were when you had your original soul, yes.
Yes.
Perhaps
This-
there are
isn't
a
my
few
original
pieces.
soul.
It does seem that way, yes.
Hmm.
There are some pieces that you've picked up from Knave here, but your personality hasn't changed. And that's because the personality is disconnected from the soul. It's a separate component that makes a person.
So the awakening was not only my magic being released, but that's when Knave's soul moved in.
Dominus says it's possible that I've never heard of something like that, but maybe the soul triggered some kind of triggered the beginning of the awakening.
All right, lots to think about. Anyway, so we are the same. Incredible, but not really.
Yeah.
The same but different.
What happens if we hug?
Archer just kind of like shrugs and says, probably nothing.
Hope we don't meld. That'd be crazy.
Knave kind of like raises his arms, like, want to try it out?
I do want to try that hat.
Oh, sure, here you go. So flips it over to you.
I bet I look great in it.
Oh man.
All right, so yeah, I just wear it for a little while we're talking. Definitely, yes, I like your style.
I thank you, good sir.
Yep. Sam will. Oof. I don't know what I was able to grab, but Sam wants to try and do like a map of Santa Fe and where the seals are.
Okay. Yeah. Let me see here.
Well, I mean, if our phones still like operate, batteries, we won't have any sort of internet, but we'd have any apps that are on there.
Would like the local download of
what?
Of the like a local copy. Sometimes I guess Google Maps stores a copy of the maps you use most often.
Yep, I do
Like
that all the time for work.
Yeah, data.
I have
Okay.
I have to download shit all the time for.
So you're gonna pull out your smartphone?
Yep.
Yeah, and just see. Yeah.
Okay, so you pull that out, and Revel says, "What is that?"
I'm like, oh, this is fun. I immediately say that. Like, I'm so glad we have some tech from the future.
Ooh, future tech.
Yes.
This is incredibly advanced. Like, this would blow your fucking minds.
Let's see here.
And this is like what everyone on the planet has in their pocket now.
Yeah, yeah.
And I say all that too. Just.
Yep. This is it's a cell phone. It does more than phones used to do.
And it has no cord, I see.
Yeah.
All of them have like sort of clustered around you to look at this.
Internal battery, and then you can see the screen.
Yeah, I get mine out. I'm like, hey, here. I just throw them mine and play around with that.
All right. Yep. Start studying it.
Yeah. Maybe by the time we get back, we'll have fucking Skynet.
More advanced phone.
Yeah.
Yep. The sleepers have been busy, I guess, inventing over the next half century.
But
Well,
anyway, this is the reason why they are useful. Maps, data, information, all at your fingertips.
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, we'll see how much they have stored on board. Computers like this got so advanced they store their information in other people's computers.
Right.
Anyway, so Sam hunts around for a map and tries to draw one.
Okay.
So I'd be like showing Nave like all the apps and crazy shit I have on my phone.
So you just kind of like.
Yeah.
Here.
This one's
I was
called
impressed
Library.
with the jump in technology from
Oh yeah.
my time to this time. But well, this is something else.
Yeah, no. Just it's incredible. It didn't take long. Imagine what could have been accomplished if the Dark Ages never happened.
Are your automobiles just as sleek as this?
They try. But yes, about. Sometimes the smart cars drive off of bridges.
Is that a car with a brain inside of it?
Equivalent to this. It
Drives
knows,
itself. Yeah.
yeah, it knows what to do, when to go, when to stop. Sometimes.
Fascinating. And this was done by technology, not magic.
Yes, that's correct.
Now I start thinking about it, and I'm like, huh, I don't know. Most likely just technology. I have to kind of rethink my whole life ever since my awakening 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the so you're gonna pull up. You're gonna sort of draw a map out as best you can of Santa
Yep.
Fe.
Yep, and yes, I suppose the roads probably aren't super helpful. But anyways, I'm trying to give them an idea of where four seals we know are.
Mhm.
And hopefully it would be good enough that they can do the legwork and find the rest on their own.
Yeah. So the you sort of go with, and Rapture seems to be the Santa Fe native. So she kind of like points like I would put it a little bit further this way because I know there is a ley line node here, and sort of like that. And as you're doing it, you realize like her like location of where it is probably more accurate than yours.
Mm-hmm.
And she like names all the ley line intersections that they are at.
Is she a fate mage?
No, she's Magist, Moros.
She's just guessing.
Death and matter.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She's asking dead people.
Yep. And yes, it also so happens that at the time that the first seal is broken and the whole soul thing happens, a whole bunch of new ley lines appear. And Sam will
Curious.
They cross. They form new intersections.
This is a very complicated ritual. I imagine it would take quite a bit of time to create.
About 70 years.
And the preparation alone, good part of that time. I wonder what necessitates it.
I wonder if the group of Celesti are pursuing, if they do the same route, sacrifice themselves to form or to reveal these seals, and then the one continues the work.
Hmm.
All just speculation on our part, though.
Mm-hmm.
And you're operating off of information and things that presumably the five of us have done in the future, yet unknown to us.
Yes, there's still a large gap of what we don't know of your activity. We only just learned of the five of you from our small time in the Black Forest, the castle, whatever. Stauffenberg.
Castle Stauffenberg.
Yep.
Yeah.
Castle Stauffenberg, you say?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
where
we
this
knew
happens.
we knew we had your memories, but we didn't know when we'd find you until we looked through the castle.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting.
This is where we believe you create this seal, and if you think you sacrifice yourselves to do it, that is the
Well,
place.
Well, the seal at the castle is different than the five in Santa Fe.
Oh yeah, like the door.
Yeah. That super door, because
Yeah.
that's
That's
the one.
way simpler than the one in Santa Fe.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, my bad. Okay.
That's
So I
just
thought-
like a handful of powerful spells slapped
Oh,
on
I
a
thought
chunk of rock.
okay, because I thought that was the one that we couldn't even open. Like it's like, all right, good.
No,
luck.
you could have opened it,
Oh.
but
Yeah.
you decided not to.
Oh, because we couldn't deal with what was on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Or you
it.
didn't want to deal with what was on the other side.
We couldn't deal with it. So okay, so it's not the seal that was the problem; it was the thing on the other side. So for some
Yeah.
reason, I remembered the seal being super powerful. So I thought that was the one with attached souls to it. So
Nope.
my bad. Never mind. Gray's smarter than Mike in that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have said that.
Um,
He knows where they did their things.
so Dominus says, "Well, all of this information is intriguing, but I think what we need to know now is one, what are we doing here?
Yeah, what are
And two, what do you need in the future?
Well,
to-
all the Celestes dead would be great.
That is something that we can attempt to do. And of course, with your assistance, I think our chances are much higher.
I mean, that is the simplest solution, I think, to stopping this fate web of terrible. Is kill the spider that weaves it.
Nave says, that being said, if we do that, then I'm not sure if you would be here.
Yes, I understand. I wonder if there's any time.
You came back in
protection.
time through the anachronisms work, yes?
Yes.
Well, normal time travel, of course, protects the traveler, but well, you might not be dead, but it might. If we do succeed in killing the Celestiate, you might no longer be awakened.
I understand.
If we are going forward with the assumption that your souls, or our soul, is in you now, and that is the reason.
Mhm.
Unless that's only part of the reason. Oh, this is fun.
Isn't it? my brain is firing off as well. I'm also going through quite a few ideas and options of what could and may happen. Especially if we all do time protection, then we could really fuck with things. If we all still exist.
In my experience, the best way to deal with something like that is to not think about it and just do it and see what happens.
Yes, we are the same. I think we should become time sliders and do this on a regular.
It is good to have someone on the same wavelength.
And everyone else is just like,
Yeah, Thomas just kind of like sighs and face palms, like, oh,
no. It's bad enough that this guy showed up
destroy
here.
the world.
Yep.
Yep.
Let us put aside this particular dilemma for the time being. This is Dominus. And let us assume that your impact on this timeline is not enough to stop events, the major events in your future. Is there something that we can do now that can assist you in the future? You mentioned something of this fate web.
Yes, like I said, it has been probably... This is the starting point. This is what we've been led to believe by another supernal entity known as... What was it? Mistress? Spinstress? No, that was the other... That's another game.
Yep.
Baba Yaga.
I don't think she had a name.
Okay. Fate. A Fate supernal entity.
Yeah.
That we owe a boon to. I forgot, and I say that like just like that.
Oh, that's fun.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. She said she was going to make us interrupt us at the worst possible time.
Yes. So, we may have to deal with that because I don't think Fate gives a damn about time.
No, fate will always find you.
Mm-hmm. So, yes, we learned that this is the point in time of which we had to alter or break the web or chain of events he sets in motion. So all of our efforts were mostly pointed at getting here. Also with trying to obtain as much knowledge in our present for the encounter. And it is hard to find information on that guy.
This Celesti.
Yeah. And I keep like kind of referencing the painting on the wall.
Mm-hmm. Yep. In my experience, Dominus, it says the Celesti, the deeper they get into their work, the less of a person they become. They begin to fade away from reality.
Mm-hmm.
And consequently, much of the tools we use in reality to pin them down become useless.
So here's our, like I said, back here is our best chance.
He will be weaker in this time, I
Yes.
imagine.
So, like you said, what can we do now? We've given them the date. We've arrived early, with giving ourselves chance to prepare.
This is the date we must be at this castle, presumably where the
yeah.
cult is.
So, does that mean that these lycanthropy projects are already going on here?
No, that was way after.
Okay, so
Yep.
what did
So
they
the
scorch?
Nazis here were working on something
Okay.
that I guess culminated in the breaking of the portal and having the demon monsters come out.
Right.
And it's the Nazis' research on that these five torched, sealed, and
And
hid.
and time locked.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So okay, that's it. Okay, yep.
Yep.
All the
Yeah,
way-
Pentex, 25 years after,
Yep.
starts using some of the residue of the demons creatures to start experimenting on werewolves and making them more dangerous.
Well, and they also had like the monsters that if you look at them, you like go insane and like turn into one, maybe.
Oh yes.
Was that
That
on the
too.
computer?
Yeah.
No, that was. Yeah, where did we find that?
I thought that.
There is something referring to that on the computer.
Yep.
Yep.
There
And
was
then
notes
like
and stuff.
we did a what happens if we open this door type
Yeah.
fate. It was like, oh, one of those creatures appears.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like along those lines. Yeah.
So I'm gonna I'll pretty much say all that we just said to them.
Seems relevant.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 weeks from now.
Right. And those creatures are what seems like smaller versions of the big bad that is trying to eat the world.
Yeah.
Do you know what this big bad, as you say, is?
Something you must not know exists. Have you heard it called anything?
The sightless one.
That's it. Yep. It's in the end of the prophecy. I just say it's at
Yep.
the end of the prophecy.
Yeah.
I see.
Um.
And it is insanely crafty that the fate web that has been laid down. It seems everyone that we tell about it goes off to influence the release of it.
Hmm. Let us hope that your travel back in time disconnected you enough from it so
Right.
as not to influence us here.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it is possible the events of the near future will not turn out as well.
Mhm. I wish there was like a ding or something that went off in my head when that deal was sealed, or when that deal was over. From the fate.
Like
entity.
Egg timer.
Yes. Your deal has concluded. Thank you for using Fate Fuckery Inc.
Um, well, as I see it, Dominus says, this does not change our current course.
Oh yeah, so what's your current course?
We are hunting down this cult. They have worked with the Nazis. We believe these Celesti have managed to convince the Reich and Hitler's advisors that this is the path to racial purity, as they call it.
So the Celesti... No, wait, no. The Celesti are the cult that are fueling his fire?
Yes. We have been chasing them for several months now. I'm sure you are aware, given your future knowledge, that the war is drawing to a close.
Yes.
Indeed.
We have all but won. I
It's
believe
almost
that
over.
this play of theirs is a final desperate plan to turn the tides, and perhaps what the Celesti were waiting for those in charge to be desperate enough to give them the option for
Yeah, I suppose
releasing
taking over a portal
monsters.
and unleashing a whole bunch of memory-eating demons would be an advantage.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, it's
more
pretty
like
much
a
it's a
sorcerer's
double-edged
thing.
sword. But if you're gonna lose, all right, I'll be right back in the bathroom.
Right.
Man.